know.
We're back. Welcome. Another episode. It's been a minute. Smoke, Cask, and Barrel. I'm Daryl.
I'm Derek.
I'm Randy.
And I'm Rachel.
And yeah, Rachel, go ahead. Introduce yourself, Rachel, because we got a guest.
Yes. I'm Rachel Vallejo. I am the Brown-Forman Portfolio Specialist, and I actually focus mostly on Woodford and the tequilas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is going to be a little fun episode. Of course, you know, we always got the cigars going already. We're going to kind of start backwards what we normally do. It's been a minute. We're excited to have Rachel here, Brown-Forman Specialist.
Yeah.
And as you see, we got some Woodfords in front of us, and we're going to let her talk and explain that. I know for myself, and I'll let the guys chime in real quick, but Woodford's kind of one of my go-tos.
I love Woodford. It's one of my favorites.
It's a daily drinker.
Yeah. So regular
Any bar.
Any bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any bar.
Yeah.
They carry something that
Right.
Woodford has. So.
So I just got through knocking off the very fine old rare. I'm gonna mess it up somehow, but I had some of that, and I just finished it off yesterday with my guy brother. So Woodford is definitely
That's awesome.
yeah, it's one of the favorite ones of mine. So we're gonna talk. Let Rachel do her thing, ask our questions like we normally do. Hopefully, you know, as always with these episodes, once you get some good education out of this, make sure you understand what it is that you're drinking and sipping on. And so I'm just gonna start. Be quiet, Rachel.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of background. But you said Brown-Forman Specialist.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. So I've been with Woodford and just the Brown-Forman products for about 10 years. So
Okay.
it's one of those brands that's so iconic, and we get a chance to work with it. It's so much fun. But a little bit about Woodford. Woodford's been around only a little bit. It's kind of a young bourbon. When you look at Woodford, it's not the bourbon that's been there since, the 1800s. While it does have some history at the actual distillery, really, technically, those bottles, the first time we bottled was in 1996.
Really?
And yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't
So
know that.
again, yeah. So it's even though it is, again, a well-known bourbon, we really expected this. And I'll tell you, when we made this bourbon, and when they kind of decided they were going to go back and do a bourbon, this was not a time. This was a time when everybody was drinking vodka. It was not the time to really be drinking, bourbon. And so they kind of decided that they were gonna, the Brown family, who is part of the decision makers around here, they made that decision. And it's really interesting because you look at it and they thought it was going to be a small boutique bourbon. This was going to be something that was going to be unique. It's in the Irish style. It has those 3-column, those sterns. And so we know it's not we didn't expect it to be this big.
Right.
And every year it just kept growing. Now it's the brand that you literally think of when you think of the Woodford Derby. It's known for that. The iconic bottle, when you go to a bar, that is a quality bourbon. It has 200 flavors, so it's super dynamic. It's just an amazing product. And again, 1996, we never thought it was going to be like that, and it's just an amazing.
I didn't know it
bourbon.
started in '96. I thought this
Yeah.
was something that was around for a while.
I know.
It's really unique. It is.
I know.
I do have a question. What
Yes.
was the thought process? Because I've seen the change in the packaging and the bottle change.
Yes.
In the last few years. What was the thinking in that?
So sometimes it's just your glass producers, contracts and things like that. But really, we did want to start a more unique bottle. We wanted to make sure that it was a bottle that kind of stayed with it. And then we were bringing out that very fine, rare whiskey. And so we wanted to kind of really start everything. If we're going to have to change a bottle, which happened because that was one of the things that we had to do with our glass agreement. And really we've learned in these last couple of years, glass is really important. I don't think we ever knew, even when we were bottling and making the decision to change this, we never knew really how important it was going to be until glass shortages started happening. Specifically, our brand, Double Oaked, we really struggled with that one a little bit. And then you look at it now and it's doing great, and you never even saw that struggle. But glass was something that we did struggle with, and it was very interesting to watch kind of like all of us try to make sure that we had our bourbons in the area. But we're lucky because, again, the one thing that we always have is we have juice. So we always have enough bourbon everywhere. But glass was definitely the issue. There were some style changes. One other style change that you probably noticed is Double Oaked also got a style change a couple of years back. We went to a different bottle. Again, I think it brought a lot of distinction to that bottle. It gave it a unique look. The thicker bottle, kind of on the shelf, it kind of distinguished it more from just the Woodford, because sometimes that happens. You don't kind of recognize that there's a different one. But if you look at then all the other bottles, we've kind of kept that same, because we know it does resonate with customers. The other thing that you'll notice is that WR, that's a newer. It used to have LG, and we changed that because that really resonated with consumers better. So that's kind of why you've seen some of those changes. And again, I think the new bottle has a lot more character.
I like it better than the Masters collection.
So I love it did look like the column stern, right? But yeah, you're right, it does. I agree.
Just like that. Kind of give me like a Mace feeling, almost like that. But I just like it. To me, it's number one, I like it because it fits well on bars. We got a whole bunch of bottles. So that's number one. But I do like the aesthetic of it, though. It's definitely, I'm a big fan of it compared to what the others were. Moving in that.
I love great packaging. I think that, I'm
that's what draws you.
Yeah, I'm a very visual person. So when I saw the bottle change, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
And I think, that's probably just helping it move off the shelves too, besides it just being juice.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I think we're one of the best distillers when it comes to that. I think we always bring out something dynamic, even our master selections, and you'll also see some of these smaller 375s that we have, like double oak, things like that. Even those, they come out with these unique things. A couple years back, if you remember, one of our master's collections was that chocolate malt. Yes, I mean it stayed in your mouth. You really had that chocolate taste. That was such a unique flavor. I don't think I'll ever find something that really matches that flavor. And then they did this, I think it was this past year, they did have another small 375 that had, again, that chocolate malt whisper. So it is definitely, they're doing a lot of different things. I also think that they are doing a great job of, while they're expanding and giving us more opportunities, because we now have the Kentucky malt, we have a Kentucky straight malt, we have a Kentucky straight wheat, and then we also have the rye. So we've had it, again, we've extended those lines, but we've really done it in a way that hasn't been like, just like, oh, let's just try everything. There was a real plan behind it. Those three, the additional ones that we're not trying those today, but those three, when they brought out, that was actually originally distillers. That's what they used to do. They used to have your normal bourbon, and then they had a Kentucky rye, a Kentucky malt, and a Kentucky wheat, and that was very common. So now you don't see that as often, but that's why we did it, and we've been really lucky to, again, a chance to kind of play with that. And then we'll talk here in a few minutes about Double Oak. Double Oak was, I think, revolutionary for this brand too.
I've always felt that Woodford was very intentional in how they moved in that process. And when you look at the packaging and everything, then you talk about the juice in itself, it just seems to be very intentional.
Yes, absolutely.
So you have all your variations of Woodford Distillers Collection, I believe it is. They did the different finishes and that. They had that. The standards, of course, your Masters Collection. So with your Masters, because this is what we have, and we can get to it. I'm going to go ahead and get to that. But you have your Masters Collection and Double O.
Yeah.
So there's a standard, regular Woodford, I guess the standard. That we'll find in more of your bars everywhere, kind of economy.
Absolutely.
Double Oak is one that's kind of like that as well.
Absolutely. We're seeing this become the next one. It's very popular, and it's in bars. I mean, when I walked in here, I saw it. So I know we're doing a good job if it's in here.
The standard Woodford sold out a couple days ago. We keep them on.
Good. Well, so it's become another category leader. I think it's done a really great job. Yeah.
So you've got the batch proof. Now,
was
that the
it's 2021? Yeah, 2021.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Spring 21 release, and then we have the 5 malts.
5 malt
stout.
Mash. Yes.
Mash. Okay.
Yes.
5 malt stout mash.
You're good.
That was fall of 21. Was that the fall of 21, or is that?
Yes. So that was December. We released that in December. Yep.
Okay.
So all of these are, again, Woodford Double Oaked. We've had it for a few years. Again, the 2 other ones are really 2021.
Okay.
So
So where do you want to start at? Where you want to take us on this journey? Where we want to start
Oh,
at?
absolutely. Well, so we're going to start with, and I'm going to put my cigar down for just a second. Let's go ahead and do Woodford Double Oak. Let's kind of talk through that. I think that's going to be a fun one to talk through. Now, I've given you guys some Glencairns here. Hopefully, you'll enjoy those.
Absolutely.
Special.
Yes. Good. And so, so let's talk a little bit first about Woodford Double Oaks. Woodford Double Oaked, the reason it's unique is we start with the normal Woodford. So this is just regular Woodford.
Okay.
We don't do anything, to the mash. This is still the same mash as you would use for regular Woodford. But then that second time, we're going to toast that barrel. So instead of that big fireball that you normally think of the barrel, so this is kind of, I did a little comparison here. So here's your normal barrel. So it's got that
Okay.
huge black char. Here's a toast. And you can tell a different color already, right? And so what they're doing here is, whereas this kind of gets a leathery skin, really what we're doing is trying to really just kind of bring out like almost like the oils and the little bit of, and what we call the vanills. And just as you hear, it says vanills, that's kind of the sweeter notes of your wood. So that's going to, and again, this is a new barrel. So we're putting, so you start with double oak with a new charred oak barrel, but then you do another barrel that's,
Just lightly toasted.
yeah, lightly toasted. Exactly.
Okay, so both new barrels.
Both new barrels,
Okay.
yep. So then, and then what we get is this product, which to the color, it's a lot darker. Think about your
Yeah,
Woodford, a
yeah,
lot
it is,
darker. Yeah, and it's almost got a coppery color. To the nose, it's just sugar.
Yeah.
It's maple. It's got a little bit of, I think almost
I
caramel.
always get cherries when I smell Woodford for some
Okay,
odd reason.
yeah.
And it's a strong dark cherry smell. So
Yeah, that is, and listen, in the 200 flavors, we know that it's there. We know that that is a note that comes out. If you ever try Woodford with a cranberry, like a craisin, try that, and that'll really open up
Oh,
that
really?
that flavor that brings a
And
cherry
I love
bomb.
raisins, so.
So tonight, when you go home, try that and see what you think. All right, well, let's give this just a little bit of a try since we're just trying it first.
Yep. I like it.
Delicious. All right, so now I brought you guys some chocolates. These are from Chocolat, which is actually, so this is specifically, there's 2 locations. There's one in Zionsville, and there's also one in Plainfield, Indiana, the ones that are here local. And so this one is from Plainfield. So what we're gonna start with is this nice white chocolate. So on the top of yours, give that white chocolate, grab a small piece of that.
And what is this company again? Chocolat?
Chocolat.
Only a
yeah.
small piece?
Well, you've got 2 pieces, so you take as much as you need. I'm not gonna judge.
Big shout out to Chocolat.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job. And so this first one, I want you to give it a nice chew. And this is white chocolate, again, just a plain white chocolate, and then take a sip of your Woodford Reserve and see what you taste. So I'll do it with you.
This is going to be a great experience for me because I'm not the biggest white chocolate fan.
Oh, you might really like this. This is my favorite of the ones.
Hershey. It's like a Hershey. It's like a Hershey Kiss.
It's like milk chocolate, just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So first of all, the
Rich.
white chocolate, it coats the mouth.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes,
everywhere in your
yes.
mouth. The next thing is actually kind of takes away that burn, and any type of alcohol burn that you're getting, that goes away, right? That's
Yeah, we
gone.
don't believe in the burn.
Some consumers may have that burn, just in case if someone were to get that Kentucky hug, we'll let them have
Like
it.
the hug.
Yes. Wait till we try that 128.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
see. Again, and it's all through the mouth. It's gonna again do that. But right now, the flavors you're getting: banana pudding, cooked peaches, really, really sweet, and it's just. I kind of call this the really super sugary one. It brings a super sweet taste, but it's not like that
really
crazy
good.
taste.
But
Yeah.
It
That's
really
really good. Like, it's
lingers.
velvety.
It feels
It
good on
lingers, yeah.
It feels good on the palate.
See, Rachel, with you
Yep.
being here, I would have never did that.
Never.
Never.
I never would
I
have
know.
done this.
I know.
Never would have.
Well, thank Elizabeth McCall. She is our assistant master distiller. So Chris Morris is our master distiller. This was one of the projects that she did with some of our teams in Kentucky, and it is amazing. Again, this is another opportunity for us to bring out
That's a
flavors
totally
with
different
our
experience.
Yes.
Well, next time I'll remember. You guys need to try the Woodford and doing this, and again, it'll bring out some dynamic flavors too.
Wow.
All right, so now we're gonna move on. I'm gonna go really quickly through the next
Are you
one.
fine? Good.
Yeah, I don't don't want to take all your time, but so now we're gonna do. This is a milk chocolate with a hazelnut.
Hazelnut. Ooh, I like
Yes. No one's allergic to nuts, right?
I can't have that one.
You can't have that one.
Yeah.
You are allergic.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I don't
Be
have
careful.
it and fall out.
Right,
Animal.
fall out.
I've been here.
Yeah,
I've
yes.
been here looking like Mark.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna again take a little bite of that milk chocolate with the hazelnut.
You keep saying little bites. I don't know what a little bite is.
See how big
Like,
he is?
I don't know what little bites are.
This reminds me, every time I have this, it reminds me of those amarettos. Do you remember the amaretto candy?
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. And then take a drink of the Woodford.
This should be interesting.
Okay, for me that was a little more. I don't want to say like best term come with like a little spicy, but almost got like a tobacco, like a real tannin on the palate.
Yep.
That was a little darker. I like the taste. I like it on the palate, but it was just a little darker for me.
Cedarwood.
Yeah,
Cinnamon.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. This one, the tannic acid, so that's what comes out of that hazelnut. That's what really is kind of helping this flavor. And then you also get a lot of right now you're kind of getting a lot of the wood contribution. So this is the barrel. And again, this is a double barrel product. So we know a lot of taste is coming from that barrel.
Okay.
And just in general, anytime your barrel is really kind of the flavor process. The grains really do help it, but the end flavor really comes from that barrel. The amount of time it's in it, the amount that it moves in the barrel, that's what really brings the
Very
flavor.
interesting.
It is like the whole profile for that. So I mean, is that more of the interaction with the hazelnut itself, or the darker chocolate? Because this is what a milk chocolate.
This is a milk chocolate,
Okay.
yeah. So it's both, because again, a little bit the chocolate gives a little bit of spice, and then the nut, obviously, again, it plays a lot more with the taste of the wood. It really does bring out that wood taste. Again, we tasted cinnamon, a little bit of cedarwood. Those are the tastes that come out. So,
Okay.
all right. So your last one is a dark chocolate with sea salt. So I gotta kind of go in there a little bit here.
And I'm gonna tell you now, we're gonna load this up. You're gonna need to do this experiment. Trust me, this is really amazing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep. All right. So give a bite of that.
I never understood the combination of chocolate and sea salt until I actually started
Oh,
eating
wow.
it.
Yeah.
That's really good. I love sea salt and chocolate.
Yeah, I can eat that all by myself.
Oh man.
So this is where a little bit of that rye, because again,
Yes.
it does have rye in our mash bill. But then you also get leather. You get a little more
Yeah.
of that
Like they say,
tobacco.
yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
we are here smoking cigars, so you're getting that tobacco, like a little bit of that tobacco taste and things like that. This reminds me of earlier I was when I took my first smoke puff off my cigar, it was like that sweet and then the tobacco together. That's exactly what this reminds me of. That is kind of that's the taste I get. Now, the other one that you get, and I'm going to say it, and you're all of a sudden going to taste it, peanut butter. Do you get a little
Yes.
bit of peanut
Yes.
butter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a surprise to me. I was not expecting that when I first did this tasting, and I was like, wow, peanut butter. And then you taste it, and you're like, oh, I have some peanut butter
I
in
thought I
here.
liked peanut butter flavor around my whiskey. But
Yeah.
it really brings the rye spice forward. Man.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the
it
spicy
does.
rye.
It does.
Yeah.
It really brings the rye spice, like it just pronounces it,
I agree.
and that's good.
Yeah, good. I'm
That's
glad you like
actually
it.
a winner right there.
That
I
is.
like
That's
that.
Yeah.
really good.
I would say
Okay,
that was
so
good. Yeah.
so that was again the dark sea salt with the Woodford Reserve. So yeah. So you still have a little left. You should have another piece there. So feel free to enjoy that.
I
while
just
we're-
took half.
Well, good. So good. And that's the chocolate pairing. Again, there's a pairing just for Woodford that has like 5, and it really helps you distinguish those 5 flavor or some of the 200 flavors that are out there in Woodford. I think you'd be shocked. We even do a tasting with just a little bit of the dark chocolate again, and that one brings out rye. I mean, you feel it in the back of your throat immediately. Like it's right there. It's giving you that hug and really giving you that flavor. And because ryes usually kind of land in the back of your palate,
Yep. Yeah.
and it's a pretty quick when you do again that other tasting. So, but these are both.
So this is like I'm smoking Underground 10,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely a darker, truer, heavier, fuller body cigar.
Yeah.
And with the dark chocolate, the salted chocolate, and that, I mean, this is an experience. This is really good.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna have to go buy some chocolate.
Yes,
Start
yeah.
doing this.
I know.
Like I
And
said, this was really, I'm a big fan of that one.
good.
Yeah,
I'm so
that-
glad you
yeah,
liked it.
That's big.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that was tasty. I would have never did this on my own.
I never would
probably
have.
wouldn't have never did it in a lounge anywhere either. So.
Well, good. Now you guys
Well,
know it.
actually
Maybe you
brings
guys
out some different flavor profiles.
Yeah,
with the
yeah, it
cigar,
does.
too.
with your cigar.
Definitely
Yeah,
does.
absolutely. Absolutely. Again, especially with the dark chocolate, and then you just had you got that peanut butter kind of in your mouth. Having a nice little puff of your cigar probably is going to even bring a bigger, more robust tobacco taste.
So Woodford Double Oak.
Mm-hmm.
What's the price point of that, Randy? What's the price point of that? Probably market buys.
I cannot remember right now.
What
You
is
know
it
what?
going
So
for?
I never retain the knowledge from the bottles that sell so frequent.
Yes.
So because they're in and out so often, it's like I never look at that price point unless I'm just out somewhere and I just buy a bottle. But
Yeah, I would
yeah,
say probably about 45, somewhere
45.
in that round. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say
it's like
that's probably
45,
about
50,
right.
depends on the
Mhm.
And I
depending
think
on where you're buying from.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
again, every retailer gets a different price, and you know
Exactly.
what
But it
what is
lingers
selling well.
around 45 to 50.
Yeah,
So this is one I'm always say you gotta have in your bar.
Yeah.
Honestly, for real, personally, I mean, this is just a bottle you gotta have. Just a good drinker.
I mean,
So,
Yeah.
like I said, generally at whatever bar you go to,
Yeah.
they've got
Yeah.
Woodford Standard and they've got the Double Oak sitting there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I call this my
it's
dessert
in our
bourbon.
book.
Yeah,
I mean, what else you wanted to say?
I know, I love it.
We want to go next.
We
Or
are
you-
gonna try. We're gonna stay with the same mash bill for the next one. So the next one we're gonna try has got a little bit of heat because it's gonna be a higher proof. We're gonna do this year's 2021. This is our batch proof. So it is batched at 128.3. And
I like it. I like it.
I know.
I like it.
I am gonna pour for you all. I'm gonna still enjoy my Woodford Double Oak for a little bit.
So, as everybody knows, I'm the proof whore of the group.
Is that good?
I like high
Yes.
proof.
Good. Oh, he's got his glass out. I have to. He sat there so politely.
So I'm the proof whore. I like the high proofs. This is like in my sweet spot. And so this was one I know I was excited to get my hands on and try. So 128.3. Not for the faint of heart.
There's so
No.
much caramel
Go
and praline
So-
coming off of there.
It is. The
ridiculous.
smell is very sweet. It
It
does,
is.
though. At the end, you might get a little bit of mint. I think you do get a little bit of mint.
Really?
I think so. Again, my thought process. That's what I think. One other thing to say: this is the highest ever batch proof that we've ever done. So when you look at our batch proofs before previous years, this is it. This is the highest one we've ever done. So it's definitely a unique one. This is 2021's. So this was last year. This came out probably around March 17th, somewhere around there is when we brought it out. I think this is that, and I think that was where it was launched at the distillery. So again, Indiana probably got it, probably April timeframe, possibly,
So
maybe
you
a
said
little
this
bit
is the
later.
same mash bill as
Same
Double Oak?
exact mash bill is double oaked and Woodford. So
Okay.
same exact mash bill.
So this is what, just taking that barrel strength? Or
That-
they do this,
No,
or-
we every year Chris Morris chooses what he's getting. When he grabs these, he's choosing a certain percentage. He's choosing that.
Okay.
Again, this is the highest one we've ever done. But each year we choose different proofs. So it could be, next year it could be a little bit less. It could be a little more.
Okay.
Just depending kind of what he's doing. But Chris Morris chooses these based on kind of what he's kind of feeling at that time. And again, this one I think stands up on its own. It's got a
Yeah,
lot of
most
dynamic
definitely.
flavor.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of sweetness in this one. I think there's still some caramel
And
flavor.
I do get that hint of mint towards the back.
You
yeah.
do.
Back,
Okay.
yeah.
And the
Yeah.
heat-
It doesn't linger though. It's
No, it
there
doesn't.
and then it's gone.
But you
Yeah.
only get the heat on the back of the palate. You don't get it on the front end of your palate.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still, it's just a slight hug.
Yeah.
For it to be 120.
Maybe because of the chocolate, I'm still getting a lot.
Yeah, 'cause I don't
ride.
really get
I'm
a
getting that
hug.
ride. I'm
I
getting
gotta
that
get
ride
it.
You are,
punch. I'm
absolutely.
getting that ride punch immediately.
Yeah, there's
Now,
still.
So this was in the top of 21. They did the 128. Now I've
Yes.
seen it, and I may be wrong, but I've seen some 119. Is that was the second release of
So
Batch Proof in
yeah,
21?
and I'll answer that. So actually,
Okay.
we had a second one that was just specifically for one vendor. So that's what you saw.
Okay.
So if you were at certain stores, they had that. So that's what you saw. There was a different release, but it was
Okay.
again for certain stores and things
Okay.
like that. So it was mostly it was mostly a chain store type of thing. So you didn't really see it in like the liquor stores. This was specifically to a different chain.
Okay.
So yeah. So but that's what you saw. Thank you for asking. Because sometimes people will be like, well, I know there was another one. And I'm like, well, the reason is. So,
Okay.
yeah, so sometimes we do unique things like that for vendors and things like that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, with what we've tasted, I know Double Oak is always readily available. Now, with your master collection, as far as the batch proofs and that, is that more towards your allocation when it comes to your whiskey,
It
your
is.
juice?
Absolutely.
Okay, so is this something that we'll see again, or is this that 21 was like the release of it, and that's what we've seen is what's going?
Batch proof right now, this is it. This is the 128.3. Once it's gone, that's it.
Gone.
So,
Okay.
yep. Next
That's
year,
one
we'll
of those
choose a
that-
different one.
See, that's
So
why
it'll
we
be
buy
a
in
different batch.
pairs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can drink
Crush
one, you
one,
can hold
put it on
on
the back.
it. It really is.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
is this a limited release?
It was a limited
Okay.
release, so we only were allocated in the state of Indiana for a certain amount.
Okay.
So we didn't have, so that means that a lot of these end up in lotteries a lot of times, or they end up in, kind of the back shelf where, some of your, you have to be really looking for it. You have to be really asking for it
That's
to
when they
find
go
it.
to the secondary
The market.
market.
Yeah,
Oh,
prices
goodness.
get real steep then.
Yeah.
When is that bubble gonna burst? Is the question.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't
it
think
is.
it's gonna
I
burst
think it's
anytime
gonna get
soon.
worse.
Really?
Yeah, I mean-
Really?
Yeah, I
so.
think it's taking legs of its own.
You see these bottles going so high, and you're just like, what is going on?
Well, I mean, I think, of course, with supply, because I'm pretty sure, as much as you have, everything is
Yeah.
always supply, right? And I mean,
Yeah.
we're coming out of a pandemic,
Yeah.
hopefully, and so I think supplies have gotten limited, so it's becoming hard to get them,
I know.
and
I
then
know.
people, don't have access to do it. So, as much as I rave and give the secondary market, it just, but I mean, I get it because if it's something that you really want to try and that's the closest you're going to get to it and it's there, you'll go for it. But I don't think it's going to bust anytime soon. Matter of fact, I think it's going to keep swelling at least for
Yes.
another year or two.
Oh,
I'm going to
goodness.
say at least 3 years before
Really?
it starts to settle
It's
down.
it's getting
Okay.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
as long as there's, in my opinion, I think as long as there's allocated product out there, it's always going to have legs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
I
It's
think
just
it's really
fascinating.
gonna get worse though, because a lot of brands are pulling back on how many bottles
Yeah.
they're actually doing.
you,
So
I mean, actually,
it's gonna be harder to
you
find
guys
certain
are driving the
bottles.
secondary market.
Yeah.
you are.
I don't think we mean to. I don't know that we mean to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
They
make
gotta
those
release,
decisions.
release the hounds.
So what was? So this is going to be a hard one to find, that batch proof, if
Yes.
you're able to find it. But what was the retail price range you were looking at as far as MSRP for that?
So both of these, the two Masters collections would be around the 130 mark. That would
130
be
mark, okay.
again. That's kind of a suggested retail. Again, every retailer
Yeah,
should
because
choose
I was
to
gonna
have
say I've
those,
not
right.
seen them nowhere near that price.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that's possible. It's very possible. And again, a lot of them use them as, lotteries, things like that. So we know that that's going on.
Yeah.
That's the bait to get you in the store.
Yes, absolutely.
It's definitely one of my favorites. Still got a
Good.
little bit left.
Yeah. Well, I probably poured too far. Sorry.
So that we just did double oak. We did the batch proof.
Yeah.
The 128.3, which to me doesn't drink as hot as it is for
It
that.
doesn't.
Product. It's, like I
That's
said, I
awesome.
love high proofs, but it's really good, really tasty.
Yeah.
So third one, the 5 malt stouted mash, right?
Yeah.
So this is a bottle I was actually looking for.
Yes, you were?
I
Okay.
never came across it. So
You never came out. Well, it's. I would say it's hard to find. I would say again, it came out in December. I would say that this was a popular one. It made a lot of headway on Facebook, on Instagram. Many of the whiskey advocates. Even today I was looking at. A news story that was about 3 days ago. Woodford just won another award. Woodford Double Oak just won another award. So
Oh,
these,
really?
they are very. Woodford is just doing really cool stuff and innovative stuff. So let's talk about this guy.
Yeah, let's
And
talk about
I
it.
actually had to bring out notes because this one's a little bit more complicated. So our distillery, while we did not, again, start really distilling until 1996 or 1994, and then obviously 1996 is when we started giving out those bottles. But when you think about it, it was in 1838. It was an Irish mason that kind of created all of the different things. Have you guys been to Woodford? Let me ask that.
No.
You gotta go.
No, I take that back.
Okay.
I haven't
You
been.
have.
I
Okay.
took my dad there. I take that back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I know what I need to do next time I see you.
Yes.
Road trip.
Please do.
Absolutely. Yes.
So it is a heavy stouted. So think of your heavy stouted beer. So I don't know, do any of you all
I
drink?
am a true
Big
stout
true, yes.
person. Like the darker the better for me.
Interesting. What about you?
Not me. I'm
Nah.
not a beer drinker at all.
All right.
I need
So-
my whiskey straight.
We'll see how we do. We'll see how we do with you. Okay, good. So this is a very unique one. So I'm going to walk you through. It is a 5 malt. So remember me saying that 5 malt.
Okay.
So it is a standard distiller's malt. It has the wheat malts. And then there are 3 dark roasted malt styled malts that we use also. So those are the pale chocolate malt, carafa malt, and then kiln coffee malt. So it's 5 different malts to make this. And really what we're trying to do, again, we technically, our style of doing our distilling is like an Irish distillery. Because remember those the sterns that we use, again, that's really what does it. So let's go ahead and pour it first,
Okay.
because I don't think you guys want me to just tell you all about
no,
it. Let's
we'll
also
get into
try
this.
it, right?
Get into it.
Absolutely. All right. I like how you just made sure that was ready for the next
Oh
one.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There you go.
I'll pay for it tomorrow at CrossFit, but you know, it's all right.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I won't be doing CrossFit.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
So I'm gonna say, you cautioned us about the nose.
The nose is a
And-
little unique, so this is not
I
the
don't think it's
bourbon.
that unique.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
I don't
different.
You
think
I don't
didn't
think
think
it's
so?
that different.
I think the nose is unique. So let's
Gotta.
tell me what
It
you
is
think.
unique.
I mean, it's like a
Sorry.
bullshit. I mean, I've smelled some other. I mean, like this. Like,
It's got almost a.
So the 2 beer drinkers
wet
don't think there's a unique
Malty,
one.
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 beer drinkers know, but the
but for me,
non-stout
it's-
beer
it
drinker,
is
it
unique.
smells.
Yeah.
To me, it smells like that stout, very malty forward. I
You
just
know,
Oh,
it,
the
it
malt is
smells
on that,
like
yeah.
actually
Yeah,
a hot
it's there.
summer
It's
day.
there.
You just cut the grass and it's sprinkled a little bit.
yeah.
That is what I get.
even like a little bit of chocolate. I think a little bit. Smell that and see if you get like a little. Do you get a little chocolate? Because like think of
Little
like a
dark chocolate.
Whopper. Think of like a little
See, I
Whopper.
love Whoppers.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just speaking to you guys right now.
Everything is
And then
drinking.
he's just like, I'm just here. I'm just enjoying bourbon.
Oh man, it's, the nose is not that. I mean, it's.
For me, it's unique.
All right.
'Cause when I compare
You know
the
what?
other 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
Yeah.
drink's way sweeter than I thought.
Really?
Yeah, that
All right.
drink's way sweeter
Good.
than
All right,
I
we'll
thought.
give it a drink and see what you all think.
That is much sweeter than I would have expected.
See, now I know why I needed that bottle. that
It
is
has-
delicious.
Good.
That's really tasty.
It's very good. It has a 0 hug.
Interesting. Okay.
0 hug.
What
I thought it
is the
said
proof
very
on that
well.
one?
I thought it said very.
90.4.
Really?
90.4.
It's not drinking like a 90.4.
No.
Yeah.
no.
So, but think about it. Almost every Woodford that you drink is going to be 90.4. So we're all in that same.
Man, that is candy in a bottle.
Yeah, it's
All right,
very
that's
good.
right. Yeah, that is
Okay.
nice.
All right.
tasty.
All right.
You know what? Actually, this probably would pair really well with coffee.
Yes, absolutely. It does have some
Yes.
great coffee notes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that.
But see now, after having that first sip of it, I'm getting some citrus on the nose. Mine's getting I'm getting a little citrus on the nose. For me, I'm getting a little citrus on the nose.
So one of the notes that it does say is hint of citrus at the end. It does say that. It does say that, one of the notes. And you guys have, what the bottle here has a nice little kind of description of the taste and things like that. So be sure to check
you
it
know
out.
what? I'm such a nerd about it because I actually read those.
I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. They pull them off and just throw them away.
Yeah. Every one of my bottles, I don't like when people like take off. Like I'll find them in the aisles. I'm like, put it back on. Put it back on. What is going on?
Part of the
you
packaging.
taking- Exactly. Like I just think it's odd that they're like taking it off. So or if you see it on the floor after somebody grabbed their bought their bottle, I'm like, oh man, you missed
Look,
out.
you missed part of it.
You did. You missed out part. Like there's so many little things that they talk about, and a little thing I've not gotten a chance to mention it is that really when we made this, we were wanting to get kind of the taste of our kind of distiller's beer. So that's kind of that, again, through the process of distillation, get a distiller's beer. This is what we were trying to kind of mimic.
Okay.
And honestly, I think it stands up to it.
I'm
Again,
going to experience with this style. I just want to try it.
No, that's what I was going to say. That would be
I wanna see
interesting.
that it is.
Yeah,
I wanna see
especially
the taste of
like
Yeah.
a dragon's milk or
Yeah.
something behind it.
yeah.
That would be.
Or with
really-
that Guinness, that heavy Guinness stout with that coffee. You see how that pairs
Oh,
with that,
the
man.
one, the nitro.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
I
good.
wouldn't know about that.
I'm leaving the rest of this bottle for you all. So hopefully you guys will
And no, you
play.
can't have none.
No, you cannot.
I'll be at home experimenting.
Right, we're
I
gonna
love-
be experimenting with this.
I love
Okay,
it.
Membership has its privileges.
Bless you guys. That's awesome.
yeah. So this was December 21.
December 21.
Highly allocated.
Hi. Yeah, it was allocated. Yes,
Yeah.
it was. I'm not going to say highly allocated.
Well, I'm saying highly allocated.
Look,
We're
even
saying
with
how-
all my connections, I could not get one of those.
Couldn't get a hold of one.
Yeah, I
Okay.
couldn't get one of
Oh,
those.
so it's a good time too. We go ahead and plug it in here. Big shouts out to Charles, Community Spirits, the entire team over there. We did the bourbon show in 2021, and he had a case of these, and they went quick. They went
I'm
really
not
quick.
shocked. I'm not shocked.
At that price point, I think it was around 165.
165.
Yeah, and they
Okay.
went.
Okay.
He sold out. I mean, they went quick.
Yeah.
So that was when everybody was kind of after. Like I said, for me,
But
it's
even
looking
with
a
the
little
one
sweeter
bottle,
than
this was the raffle bottle.
Yes,
Yes.
he did that in the
Yeah.
raffle
Yeah.
silent
And
auction
it
for that.
went for $350-ish, $330, $350-ish or something like that.
Which
So,
again,
yeah.
big shouts out to Community Spirits because those funds from that silent auction in December took care of the Indianapolis Uplift Foundation. They did that for charity.
That's great.
So big shouts out to the community for that. Again, big shouts to Woodford.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a bottle that he put out there for that, and it
Right.
helped generate some funds.
You got to
towards charity.
thank John, though, because John turned me on to a bunch of those.
Yeah, yeah. So
Very good.
yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed them.
So I'm gonna ask and put you on the spot.
Yes.
I know you're a specialist, Brown-Forman.
Yes.
Of the whole Woodford family, what's your favorite? Which like
Double
your
O.
go- Double O.
All day,
okay.
all day long. I literally get home at night, and if it's been any type of day, if it's been a good day, bad day, horrible day, on ice, just a little bit of ice, it's the best.
Okay.
It's sweet. It has a great note.
hold
It's a
on.
great to sit on the fire by. I like it. I like
Let me
it.
ask you this.
Yes.
So, are you just using regular store-bought ice, or are you doing anything special?
So I did.
Spring water?
So I have. Oh yeah, I do.
We're bougie too, so I mean,
Oh,
we're
good.
bougie.
I even tried. Like there was this thing that I looked up, and it was like on a bourbon enthusiast website where they did. They put it on their smoker. So they did water, and then they put it on their smoker. Like had like a little like baking pan. Put it on their smoker.
Okay.
And let it sit there for a little bit, and then put that in ice cubes. Not gonna lie to you, that was a very delicious
I've
old
had a
fashioned.
smoked ice cube once, and I got nasty now.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try that with. I'm gonna smoke it with actually oak wood though, and
Yeah.
see exactly how it.
So it's similar. Like when you do that ice, it's like the smokers that they use, very similar to that. Like it brings out a different flavor. I like, I always say this, my second drink is always something with like a rye or has a smoky taste to it. Because I think that you gotta like, that second drink, you gotta like
That's
bring
what
it,
really
know.
opens it up and
Yes,
brings it home
bring
for
it,
you,
bring
though.
something
Yeah.
else, bring something to the table. I'm really right now into chocolate bitters. I really like chocolate bitters. So when I make my old fashions, Woodford actually has some chocolate bitters that I use, and
Ooh,
I
on the
love
old
that.
fashions.
What?
He's not a cocktail drinker. I like old fashioned.
I'm not
I
a
make a
cocktail
mean
drinker.
old fashioned
I'm
personally. in my opinion.
disappointed.
But I like
I
it
am
old
not a
fashioned.
cocktail.
So what about a Manhattan? Do you like a Manhattan?
No.
No, it's too
Yeah,
sweet for you.
I need
Okay.
They don't-
everything
they- it's-
straight up.
Okay.
That's
well,
beneath them.
nothing
They
wrong
don't
with
do
that.
cocktails. I'll drink a good cocktail. I'll drink a good
Okay.
Manhattan.
There's
We're
nothing
we're
wrong
bourbon
with that.
purists.
That's all right.
So
I
they
want
say.
the way he intended it to be drank. drink.
That is also wonderful, and
I
also
drink all of them. I drink old fashions. I drink a Manhattan. I like a good sidecar. We can go on down the line. I like cocktails
Yeah.
too. And,
We're gonna
especially
go
in the
ahead.
summertime.
We're gonna
You
get
drinking
your
high
Tom
proofs,
Collins.
you don't want to blow yourself out. It's already hot outside, so a lot of
Yes.
times, a good cocktail go a long way.
Yeah.
With a high proof bourbon or high rye mash bill, something like that, it goes well with it. So,
There's some really
I mean,
good.
ain't nothing against. Don't be shading the cocktails, gentlemen.
I think you should let me make you guys some cocktails. I think that's what we should do next time. It's like me come in here, make you some cocktails, and see if you like anything. Be like, is this a good one? What about this? So try it and see if we can find something.
So let's get
to
the
vote.
vote.
I was just saying, vote what?
Let's get the vote.
Vote what?
What are we voting on?
The three? What's the favorite of three?
It's favorite of three.
I'm not going first. Really gotta go.
You already know where I'm leaning.
He going to 5. You going to
Yeah,
5?
I'm going to 5.
We're in the middle.
Really?
My favorite.
I'm the batch
Yeah.
proof. I like the batch. I always love double oak. I'm the batch proof. Yeah, you know me. That's not shabby though.
No,
5
this
is not shabby.
I'm
This is
really
very
impressed.
good, but for my palate,
Yeah.
I love the batch.
and I keep double oak on my bar,
Oh,
and I
love that.
love double oak, but
Mm-hmm.
that's my favorite of the three.
Very good. Okay. Very good.
So you've been smoking cigars. Rachel had a blondie ass with hers.
I
but she been
did.
doing
I
her
haven't had a
talking, so
chance.
She ain't had a chance to smoke hers, and we thank her for coming and doing
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I love
I'ma
her
go around-
energy, though.
Yeah, I'm for
She's
real.
really
Like this has been
enthusiastic
super,
about
super,
their
super dope.
products.
Like
I-
really seriously.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it,
Thank
really.
you so much.
And like I said, this is always. We're not a cigar group or bourbon group. This is an entity. We're trying to do our best to can to push this culture forward to educate as many people as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're enthusiasts. We don't call ourselves experts. We're enthusiasts, but we do. We enjoy this lifestyle.
I
We
consider
do
us
what we can.
alcoholics.
No.
Let's call
I
it
would
what
call
it is.
you enjoyers.
Enjoyous. Yeah, there you go.
Enjoyers.
I
I
am
like
not
that
an
word.
alcoholic. I do not go to meetings.
That's right. I ain't anonymous. So, Randy, you've been smoking your cigar. How has that been pairing with everything? Which cigar you
So
smoking?
it's
What's
a
your pairing?
Plasencia Fuego. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with this. We smoke these on the regular. So.
I am doing the Oliva V Milanio Gigante. It's,
I was going to say, you got a big green gauge over
it's
there.
it's got a coffee bean wrapper, and it's a Nicaraguan filler.
Which the Fuego is all Nicaraguan.
So
You all smoking all Nicaraguan cigars, right?
it actually paired very well with my favorite of the three.
Really?
So yeah,
Good. Wow.
Smoking the Undercrown 10, of course, you already know they made the Undercrown because liquor provided number 9s are really, really good from Jewel State. And they didn't want anybody people in the factory rolling them up, smoking them up. So they made the Undercrown, which is that this is a very full body cigar.
You know you smoked that wrong, though.
I smoked it properly. The ribbon has been removed from the top of it. No shade.
Some people smoke it with the ribbons.
But it's a full body cigar. This has paired beautifully with all what we've sampled tonight. Like I said, this is one I've been going to a lot lately anyway. But I like this. I mean, because Woodford gives that good bold sweetness, body and everything. So this has really been going well with this. Definitely recommend it. Price point in the Fuego. What was that price point on that?
16 to 20 bucks.
16, 20.
17.
17. This is a 12 to 15, depending on where you find it at. I'm actually smoking the Robusto size of it.
I don't know what my blondie is.
The Blondie,
It's about $6 to $8.
$6 to $8,
Okay.
depending on where you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, I got V cuts on. I don't know. Did we V cuts? Everybody do V cuts? Or
I
did
did
straight cut?
V-cuts.
Did
She
V
did.
cut?
I did.
V
I do
cut. She got V
straight
cut.
cut.
Did straight cut.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that before, as far as your cigars, as far as how the smoke envelops on your palate, the different cuts and things, and how that gives you that experience when you're taking your cigar in. And all of it plays a part in your pairing experience and your tasting experience with that. How you cut your cigar and that smoke sitting on your palate, and then pairing with your favorite spirit, which we have Woodford bourbon with us. Again, we want to make sure we acknowledge community spirits. Thank you again, Charles, everybody for what they do. And we want to acknowledge we're smoking cigars. We're going to give a big shout out. Prime 357 Cigars. You see where we at. We are in the Cosmo Nights Social Lounge. Prime 357 Cigars has the humidor, and it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. I'll put the humidor up against anybody in the city. I promise I will. I'll put Cosmo Nights Bar up against anybody in the city. That's what it is we have and offering here. So come down, get you a good pour, get you a great stick, enjoy the experience. Again, we always say it. We love the moments, but it's always about the journey. Rachel, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank you
inviting
so
me.
much. Thank you so much,
Thank
Brown,
you
for
for
joining
joining
us
us
special.
tonight.
Thank you for joining us
Felt
tonight.
like I sat through a class today.
Man,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
hope
I
it wasn't
did, I
like,
did.
you know,
Well,
it was a good teacher, fun teacher, hopefully.
Well, we always,
Most definitely when you bring chocolate. So yeah.
yeah, we always try to, teach our audience that this is about an educational experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
about the culture. We hope that we can always impart some type of new knowledge to you.
Yeah.
That, in terms of like packaging,
Yeah. Yeah.
keep the informational, folks.
Yeah.
Don't be throwing the booklet on the ground.
Don't throw the booklet on the ground.
I'm the only one who
You know.
doesn't like that, probably. Everybody else probably doesn't
But
care.
we don't like it either, because
good.
the more you know, the better
Yeah.
the better your experience, the more you know what you're drinking. So it's all
Absolutely.
about education. It's all about hopefully helping you enjoy your drinking and smoking experience.
Understand why you spent $100-something.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
be able to
Most
speak to
definitely.
that intelligently.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. That being said, it's been another one. Blessings to everybody. We'll get this, and we'll see you in the next one. It's been another one. Thank you again. Peace.
Peace.